Yo, what the hell is a flippant?
All right, welcome back to the channel. This is the Flippant podcast. For those who don't know, there's no spaces in between, and it's spelled with two P's. I am your host, Flippant, and today I am co-hosted with my neighbor, Mario. Mario, go ahead and introduce yourself, plug yourself.
What's going on? Mario from
Talk to the
across the
microphone.
street, aka Lil Dude. Got my clothing line here, RD Roy Dreams. Man, support me. I do all basketball, football, baseball, college teams. I do everything.
And don't forget, after this, we'll just send me all your links and stuff like that, and I'll post them all over the video and also in the comment section below. So everybody, make sure you pay attention to the first comment pinned to the top. Go ahead and give this video a like, share it, subscribe it, because we do a lot of hard work over here to get everybody involved and find topics. All right. So if you want us to keep bringing it, if you want us to keep bringing it to you, make sure you let us know. All right. So before we go any further, Mario, do you know what an incel is?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I know what
Oh,
incel
you
is.
talk to me. They're gonna be whatever. Um, so you know what an incel is, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. What does it mean whenever somebody that says that they're trying their hardest to get let's say relationships from women? Because let's be honest, most incels are men. You know, there's women out there who voluntarily, go celibate because they're trying to fight the stigma of body count. But what would you say to those men out there who can't get it, or would you know?
I'll tell them, man, hey, try hard. Keep doing what you're doing. Just be yourself.
Be yourself. I think that could possibly be some of the worst advice, and not saying it to because like let's be honest, like if you're being yourself, women find that attractive. So how would you take you being able to get women whenever you were younger? How would you be able to take yourself and like wrap it into a neat package and say like this is who you need to be?
Uh, my philosophy is somebody for everybody out there.
Still, that just oh man.
Nah. One, if you get this Royal Dreams merch, you might broaden your horizon. But I don't know. That's a hard one. I don't have that problem, big dog. So
Well, I mean, so for me, like I've been getting I can't be too upset because the first time I got laid was whenever I was 15. All right. And then past that, it was like more of a and then I got a girlfriend that we were able to do it. For the most part, she happened to be my ex fiance. And then past that, moving out to like 29 Palms, like that was dead for everybody. Like nobody's getting none out there, except for the ones that brought their wives out. But like if you're a single man out there and you're young, you were really involuntarily celibate for that short period of time while you were in the schoolhouse. So like if I was to like wrap myself up into a package, what I would say is go out and do something that you like to do. Don't expect anything from it, but eventually you're gonna find a woman who likes to do those things too. And I'd also say work out, build confidence in that area, and make sure that you're staying up to date on at least the latest fashion. Meaning, like make sure your shirts fit, make sure your pants fit. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you have a nice pair of shoes that you can, like if you're going out doing something nice, and also make sure that you're not looking at social media to try to find validation, especially in people who are in your shoes. So if you're trying to get laid, don't listen to more people who aren't getting laid, because they're just gonna take you down that rabbit hole of depression, and you're gonna form this echo chamber.
so are you saying that just get what's available that comes to you,
Whenever you're going out,
or
so
just like your dream girl, or like what interests you?
um,
Cause it's like a whole nother different topic.
it is. So like there's of course us being men, there's like a level of women that we can't reach unless our money looks right as well. So I do believe that too. But whenever you're talking about involuntarily celibate, there are people who are trying to get any girl, especially on a level like they feel like they are at. but they're not able to get it. And I know for our video representation for today, you're gonna see it, and you're gonna go through some of the same emotions that he's going through, and you're probably gonna think, well, that's an easy fix, because like I've seen like the first 30 seconds of the video, and I was just kind of like, dude, you're doing things all wrong. And then I was asking myself, it's like, do you have like a dad that's letting you know, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, is he in your life? Because I think that's super important. You know what I'm saying?
I agree. I agree that a father is super important in your life, but also the company that you keep also too.
Right. That's what I was talking about, the echo chambering. So like if you're hanging around people who are in the same shoes that you are that can't really help you,
Yeah, it ain't gonna work.
then it's a dead issue, you know.
So I finished my workout, and well, it took me a while because it's busy. Um, so what's been going on lately? About 20 minutes after I uploaded the video about that girl, she ended up dumping me. Well, not really dumping because I was never in a relationship with her to begin with, but I guess that's basically over now. That's all ended. And well, obviously I was pretty sad about that. But well, what did I do? I've been going gym. I mean, like, what else am I gonna do? That's my main focus now. Look, the truth is, I am truly fucking alone, and look, I'm making progress, and I know some people say, oh, it's not enough. You're lazy, you're not doing anything, you're eating crap, all of this sort of thing, and you're not doing anything to change your situation. You're not putting in the effort. That's all it's going to be. And I bet as soon as I upload this, there'll be some more bullshit. And like, I'm putting in the work, so I don't give a fuck if y'all don't like that.
Like just by hearing his voice alone, like what can you tell this guy that's gonna change at least, you know, something?
Big dog needs some confidence.
He
Dog.
needs some. That is exactly what. Like I said, whenever you think of involuntarily celibate, you gotta listen to him real quick, and then like at the first thing that you're gonna hear is the lack of confidence.
Yeah, I don't think that's involuntary, dog. I think he put himself there, dog.
You think
Whatever
he?
whatever word that is needed to be used, he put himself in that category.
Well, I mean,
dog.
look at this man. Doesn't he look like he wants to get laid? It sounds like he does want to get. He said, "I just finished a workout," because I'm pretty sure somebody had told him that, you know, like working out leads to confidence.
Yeah, I get that, man, but confidence plays a big part. I mean, you know what I mean? I got homeboys that's extra large. I got homeboys that's skinny that don't go to the gym at all. It's just that confidence. They feel that they confident in pursuing that woman. They're gonna do whatever they gotta do by all means with conversation. You know what I mean? Conversation rules the nation. With that, the charm, the conversation, it'll get you where you need to be.
So how do you instill that in somebody? Like how do you even, excuse me, how do you even go and teach somebody that confidence, or like how do you give them that? Like how do you tell them how to create conversation and then say it with your chest?
The circumstances, that's a hard one, man. I mean, you just got to come up with something, like be witty, do something to. A female loves somebody that loves to make them smile. You know what I mean? Like just be charming. I don't know what words. Like I gotta have a situation to.
So even in this situation where he said that the girl that he was talking to, right? And he said 20 minutes after he posted the video, like whatever little thing that they had going on, it was over. But I mean, I'm pretty sure she walked in on this guy, and you know, she did the date, she took him seriously, and was just kind of like, yeah, nah, fam, that's gonna be a no for me.
Yeah, I mean the female that you're dating, like for example, my wife, like I already know what she likes. That was even like before we even got married though, like just getting to know the person, just seeing what they like, their dislikes, and you go from there. Obviously, you want to stay away from the dislikes.
So you would say like ask her questions first,
Yeah.
and
I have to upload shit, like whether people like what I'm putting out there or not. And Abasa Seal said, oh, it's not going to work. You have the body of a child. He used my Instagram pictures. Well, you know what, anybody can see that I am making progress from those pictures. I am gaining some delts, I am gaining some pecs, and I may be skinny fat, but I can see a little bit of ab definition when flexed. But obviously, I'm bulking now, so that's going to go away. But I'm making progress. Like, I I'm on the grind of gym at least. Like I'm not doing everything. I'm not 100%, but I'm here and I'm coming up. And whether people like it or not, I am truly alone. I'm not happy about being discarded, and I'll always be treated like that, discarded, worthless, as a low status male. That's how it's always going to be. This girl was my black.
Hey, sorry to cut you off, brother.
Yeah. I'm so glad you did.
The whole problem with this, I don't know who's mentoring this guy, but this whole gym thing, it's not the answer. It's not the answer.
So I would disagree with that. Only to a certain point, and it's not that like the gym actually gave me a lot more confidence to be able to talk to people, right? So like where I'm like kind of hunched over and like looking like this and like on my own, and I realized that from the point where I wasn't going to the gym, where I was more hostile.
I
And
agree.
to now, it's like, at the gym, it's like you're dealing with other people. You get to look at other people and see the progress that they're making, and you get to get your progress from that too. Especially if you subscribe to the gym atmosphere, which means you go at the same time. The same people are going to be there, and you start talking to them, and then you start like if you need help with something, you feel more comfortable in getting them over here to help you spot. So like now I'm doing weight that I'd be more uncomfortable with doing it by myself. Whenever I can ask this dude that for the past year we've gone to the gym at the same time, we've bumped shoulders, we talked about some of the same girls. It was like, oh yeah, she's hot, but she's kind of an asshole. You know what I'm saying? Like that type of man like atmosphere. And that's where I would say he needs to go first, because if he tries to go to a team sport, he's not making the team. If he tries to go out to mountain biking, he might not. People are going down the mountain at different times, so he might not be able to have that communication with let's say another man. You know what I'm saying?
So is the end state of him trying to be with the man or be with the woman?
The end state is he wants to be with a woman, but in
So
order
why are
to
we
do
talking
that,
about men?
I mean, I always advocate that men have a group of other men so we can see, we can ask each other, when we're going wrong. Because I do have that group of men. And even you have, back in my earlier YouTube days, had checked me on some of my ideas. And I came back over and I thought about it. And I'm sitting over like, well, maybe you can be nice to hookers, but you don't have to marry them. You know what I'm saying? It was like, what are we gonna do? Just be mad at all hookers that are out there that are making some type of money, or are we just gonna, they're people? I don't have to do dealings with them, but they're there. You know what I'm saying? And I can talk to them if need be.
Yeah, but also too, I mean, just talking to him is not giving you the advice to how to approach a woman though. You just from the conversation we had, you're just telling them like, "Oh, she's an asshole," or blah 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 like that. It's not giving words of encouragement of how to, yeah. And that's what he was gonna run to in the gym. That's what I'm saying. Like,
well, I mean, they might actually treat him like you treated me some of those times whenever I came over with these ideals that didn't really match up. Which is why I said that would be. So if he did have somebody to communicate with at a gym, and he's like, "Man, I tried talking to this girl, but she doesn't like me," and then he goes, well, "Why didn't she like you?" If he talked to a woman, she'd be like, well, just be yourself. Didn't really give him much. Because he tried being himself. That's the first thing he did. Rejection. Guys, on the other hand, would be like, well, man, your hair is always in your face. You look greasy. Man, would you even date you? Like, look yourself in the mirror. Do you find you attractive? If the answer is no, then what makes you think that any woman would, wanna just jump on you? You know what I'm saying? You're not like a main catch. And that's men giving other men advice outside of just be yourself.
I can rock with that one. You bounce back on that one.
I bounce back on
Yeah,
that?
you bounce back. I can't argue with that one.
We're out
You
here
bounce
dating.
back.
In order to date a woman, you got to date a man first. Nah, that's not.
Not dating a man, But I'm talking about the part where you say, you know, like how a guy would basically check you, like how the way you present yourself, how the way you looking. You came back strong on that one.
Okay,
You're
I
not
appreciate
not the dating part.
Yeah,
Not
this
the
is
dating
this
part.
is definitely rolling the cameras live, so we're getting all the we're still stretching our legs
Yeah,
on
yeah,
this
yeah,
one.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
We can go one more on this one, Tabs, because I'm pretty sure I know what this guy's problem is.
Appealing experience. That was the point where I realized, nope, I can't live like this anymore. I cannot let this happen anymore. I cannot let myself be discarded. I am not a doormat. I am not that worthless. I am not as worthless as people think I am. Like, I'm going to become desirable. I am becoming. I am working to increase my SMV. And in a year or in 2 years, I am going to be desirable. Obviously, nothing has happened yet because I don't think I've reached that tipping point. I think there is a tipping point you become where you become desirable enough that girls start to take you seriously, that they start to think, oh, this is a guy who I want to bang. And before you reach that tipping point, not much is going to change. But when you reach that point, then you start to get girls being interested in you. Then you start to get matches on Tinder. The algorithms start to favor you. And things start to snowball and fall into place. But I need to keep working, keep grinding before I actually get to that point. I believe something like, say, 60 kilos at 8% body fat, that is going to be about where I want to be, where I should start seeing attention from girls. I'm probably around 22% body fat, 25% body fat at 53 kilos right now, I'd assume. I mean, I might be a little bit less body fat, but yeah, I've been weighing myself around 53 to 53.5 or so in the past week. Yeah, I am going to be desirable. I watched this video. I saw that guy, Stefan Clinkscales or something like that. The guy who was on a Looksmax Tinder experiment. People use his pictures. He made a video. She doesn't want you. Who cares? It's 2021. Well, in my case, it's 2022, and you got to keep on improving. But uh, actually, I do care. My perspective is that she doesn't want you. Well, look, I'm using that as fuel. I'm adding that as fuel to the fire. I'm going to burn with the darkness that I am not happy about this world and the way it works and the way the world treats me, the way people treat me. And I am going to ascend because I am not happy about my current situation. Do I care about the events that have happened, the ways that I've stuffed up, the ways where I wasn't good enough, the times where I wasn't good enough?
Yeah, we're rolling live. So you notice how he talked about another channel talking about looks max, right? Looks maxing means to make sure that, like, let's say if you're a 4, right, just in the face, you want to make sure you do everything you can, like hairstyle. If you got, like, if you look homeless, because your beard and stuff like that, or if your body isn't attractive. Let's say like you're 250 pounds on a 5-6 foot frame and it's mostly fat. What you want to do is you want to be able to reduce the fat, go get a nice little trim. You know what I'm saying? Get like the latest hairstyle, and then of course the face don't look so homeless, and then wash like you want to wash. You want to smell good, right? Which is why I did invest in colognes and stuff like that. And I wear them everywhere now. Like I go to the gym with them on. I go to work with them on. I go to bed with them on.
I don't think that's his problem.
It,
I think he has mommy and daddy issues, dog.
he could. I was going to bring that up
Nobody
too, but I'm
loves
so glad you
him,
did.
dog, which he has no confidence and no. He's just sad, dog. I
Well,
feel bad for the guy.
I think he was raised by his mom, and
And she didn't love him.
and she said, "Be yourself. Oh, you're such a handsome boy." And what he's fighting right now is that, well, my mom said I was handsome. How come all these other women won't break themselves and think, that I'm handsome? And eventually he's gonna go out and he's gonna see a man that he knows is handsome, and he's gonna look at himself as like, you know what? That bitch lied to me. Talking about his mom. That's.
I hope you're editing this.
No, that's staying in. I want to keep that in. All right.
Oh, that went left field, dog, quick.
I mean, that's think about it. Like, there's only one person in this world who can like really. You ever hear? I think it was D.L. Hughley, a comedian, who said that your dad is there to keep you grounded while your mom tells you that you can be president. So your mom goes, "Oh, you can be the president you can be the next president of the United States," and your dad goes, "Now with them D's."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you're gonna be working with me down there at the trash compacting facility. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I know, cause I made D's, and this is where I work. You know what I'm saying? So. I think that's where young men get, get failed. Because, dad's like, you don't know how to dance? Yeah, how you gonna get a woman you don't know how to dance?
True.
You know what I'm saying? How you gonna get a woman whenever, your pants are on the ground? They're hanging up pants on the ground looking like a fool. You know what I'm saying? How you gonna get a girl, or how you gonna get a proper girl, once you move into the phase that you are getting girls? And then he's gonna be like, well, here's how I got your mama. You know what I'm saying? She says that she doesn't want, some dude who is cheesy, but I be making her snort laugh because I'm cheesy, you know what I'm saying? And then they go, well, up front, I had to be this before I was able to get that, you know what I'm saying? So I think that's where he's, that the lack of guidance he has is from a dad.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because obviously his dad could get some pussy because his mama had him, you know what I'm saying? So you'd have to you'd have to keep the man in the picture, strong father figure to be able to do that instead of just listening to the uplifting from the mom, because that's where you get upset because whenever it turns out that it's not true, there was nobody there to provide that balance for you.
I agree with you on that one. Yeah, fathers play an important role, man.
Huge role.
A big role. And it's taken for granted, and we do it to ourselves most of the time too. But you also got to find balance too, though. It's as straightforward as we want to be with your kids. Also, you have to show the softer side too, which
Absolutely.
we get misconstrued, and that's a problem that I'm trying to deal with now on my end.
Well, it's not a problem. Well, okay, so I don't think it's a problem as long as you do have that balance in the household, because like it allows me to be me. But as long as I'm willing to accept some constructive criticism, or like, to at least be reeled back while I'm in the moment, which, my wife provides to me. And I don't take that for granted. I'm like, yo, if my wife wasn't here, my daughter would be extremely militant. In fact, she'd be extremely like masculine because of the way that I talk to her and the way that I deal with her. And then she gets another side of that energy from her mom. And she's able to create things and things that I wouldn't necessarily find beautiful. Like, you said you worked all afternoon on that? Might want to go work the rest of the night too. But like Tabs or my wife would, she would be like, oh, that's beautiful, that's gorgeous. And like lift her back up again, and it would make her want to try again. Yeah. So like I said, there's definitely some deficiencies if it was just a dad raising a kid, but in this case, it's just the mom raising the kid. Who does he have to look up to?
Yeah, you need that balance. I agree with you on that one. We barely agree, but I agree with that one.
We barely. Is it because the mom?
You have learned from coming over the house and we have our sit downs. You have learned, Grasshopper.
Yeah. I've learned because like now that I'm 30, they say like men kind of become more mature at that age, and things that I couldn't talk about before because it was like, well, don't you hate when women just go out in public and breathe? Like you go from that because you weren't the talk of the town back then, and then you come into like now I'm 30, my beard connects now, and like body transitioning, and like now I'm able to like look women in the eye because I was able to start looking men in the eye, and like now I don't feel so inferior anymore. I have something to tell you too, not just you telling me. And like whenever I do talk to women now, they listen. Like I don't get interrupted. I don't get like any threats that I'm gonna hit you or something like that because like it's just unnecessary. And now I feel like the things that I say is borderline insult, and they give me their best whenever they come back at me. And for this guy, he's not seeing that, and I'll tell him it's not your time. Just like my dad tells me or told me whenever I was younger, it's not your time.
Yeah, I agree.
So if you're a young man out here and you think that women should just be falling over you, it's like,
Yeah, you gotta put the work in.
yeah,
You gotta put the work in.
gotta become. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of channels out there that do tell you that. It's like women have an inherent value from whenever they're like let's be honest, like women start going out the gate at like 16. They start dating like in my town, military men, 18 to 22 to 25 years old, and like these guys are picking them up at school.
Mm-hmm.
Did they need to do anything outside of being like young and pretty?
No.
And then you got men who, we actually, like I was doing backflips off of, benches at school. And like that one girl who finds that so hot and attractive, I was doing like 500 backflips before that woman saw me do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, females just want that maturity level, man. That confidence, whatever to make them feel good. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
That's what they looking for.
How do you make them feel good though? I mean, outside of anything
I mean,
like sexual.
a woman always want to feel protected, and obviously this guy does not make any woman feel protected. Like just his voice, he's just insecure about himself.
So, like, if this guy was standing on a ledge, like, what would you tell him? Because I mean, life
Jump.
seems really what? Okay, so let me rephrase that. If you didn't want him to jump because you were the one who had to clean it, no, that sounds insensitive. If you did not want him to jump, what would you tell him? Would you tell him that it just gets better, or?
I just tell him it's just not his time yet, man. He got to put that work. He got to develop himself. He had to soul search, man. He had to better himself before he can better anybody else, man.
So now you're a mentor, and he tells you which direction does he go first?
You just got to figure it out. I mean, you got to figure out what's
I mean, he was left on this world. He was left to figure it out himself. I mean, like,
That's a
obviously
fact.
he can't figure it out. And like, if I, me as a young man, I'd be, if I said that I could have done it without my dad, I'd be lying. You know what I'm saying? So now it's like he's got to have like a different mentor. You ever, have you ever found yourself to be in a position where you're around, especially whenever you're a young Marine, let's say like 19, 20 years old, where you're like leading another 19 and 20-year-old, like, dude, like, we all know this already. How come you don't? And then you show them the way. You ever find yourself leading your peers?
Yeah. I always find yourself leading your peers, man. I mean, that goes with like life experiences, though, man. Like you've been through something. Like it's all different walks of life. So you kind of take your experiences and I guess not compare, but what's the word I'm trying to find? I guess transition into that situation and try to give them the best advice you can with that situation. It's kind of hard to explain.
Well, he's trying to get some pussy. I think that's like super easy. Like that one right there is like you're not. You wouldn't make anybody wet. You might get some sympathy pussy from time to time, and that's like few and far between. You're still gonna feel like a miserable wreck whenever
You
you're not
would,
getting
but
it.
at the same time, you might get some
really good sympathy pussy. Like, is
some
that
lower self esteem pussy, dog. You know what I'm saying?
And then you guys can just echo chamber, you know. Hey, you got the blade? Let me stop.
I don't know, man.
We're supposed to be giving this kid advice.
I know.
We're pushing him over the edge.
We're taking him down the wrong path right now.
We're terrible people. I just want you to know.
Hey, I can agree with that.
I'm gonna get so demonetized for this video. Okay, like let me try. Okay, because this is what this is for. This is to make us better people. Okay.
All right.
Better people by pulling this man off the ledge. It is. Whatever you're thinking is wrong. That's not how life works. Life works based off of what you can provide to somebody. Before you even get to that level, you have to look the part first. So ask yourself, would you date you knowing that you're here right now? All right. So if the answer is no, all right, don't jump. If the answer is no, I would seek therapy and figure out why your self-esteem is low, because I'm not a doctor. I know a good one, and now we got to make it interpersonal. I know a good one because they helped me out too whenever I was at my lowest point to get them to come back. And it's like, now here I am trying to start 2 companies at the same time because, you know, my therapist made me overly confident. At least one of them, if not both of them, is going to fail. But like the thing is that they help me out. And they can help you out. All right. So the first thing is to get them to therapy, because, like I said, this is a problem that, you know, there's not one kind of man who's going to be able to stop it. If Jason Momoa pops up, you're like, oh hell no, you get pussy all the time, and then he's going to jump, right? So it's got to be, you know, this is where we're gonna go. This is who we're gonna talk to. They're gonna make you feel better, as long as you open up to this person. And I preach therapy to anybody. Getting out of a long-term relationship, you might need some therapy. You won't see it. That kid definitely won't see it. And as long as we keep his mom out of it, like, hey, look, you did enough. You know what I'm saying? We'll let him go to therapy by himself. And, you know, we won't turn him against his mom or anything like that. It's more along the lines of, like, having that male figure that goes like, hey, look, we've all been there before, you know. There was times whenever my dad came up to the school and all my female peers who were just, you know, standing around, stop talking to me, just go talk to my dad. Because my dad had a house, a car, and all that other stuff. So, like, if you actually took time to join those male groups and, like, just started focusing on, you know, where you're going in life and had healthy competition, like, life becomes so much better. And by the time you get to the age, let's say, like, 27, where women just, like, kind of start glancing at you a little bit, that's whenever, you know, oh, dude, I'm doing the right thing. Turn 28, 29, and, you know, you start having, you're able to start holding more conversations with everybody. Doesn't matter what walks of life, you know, you come from, because, like, you've had those experiences. But you can only talk to an older man if you learn how to, just like you can only talk to a woman if you know how to, you know. Because both of those things, I think, are kind of synonymous. If you could talk to an older man and hold his attention, like, you can literally talk to anybody. Because you know how older men are. They're like, boy wet behind the ears. He don't know nothing. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's why I brought that up in the first place. Because, you know, I was able to, I learned how to do that. And it definitely helped me along with, you know. But first, this man needs to seek therapy. Needs to get to a gym. Get around a good network of men who are willing to, you know, like, hold conversations, ask them what's going on, and then they're able to, like, help them through. And it's situational, because that, along with this video, it's kind of hard to pinpoint, you know, except for the confidence thing. It's kind of hard to pinpoint and where he's getting his information from. So he needs to unplug.
Yeah.
That's how I'd go about it. No, take your time. You're good. Like, I know I said a mouthful.
Yeah, no. I, to be honest, I wouldn't have too much disagreements with it. Like you said, like, it's don't kind of, like, know the situation on it and the angle that he's going with.
Well, see, how I learned it is, like, to understand that people aren't much different from other people. Like, just because you're black and this kid is white doesn't mean that you wouldn't face similar issues in well, culturally, in this subculture of people. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody still wants the same kind of guy. For white people, it might be Fonzie. For black people, it might be Boosie. You know what I'm saying? Like Fonzie, the leather jacket, ride a motorcycle. For black people, is like, I'm starting a rap career, or, something like that. I don't mean to. That sounded really bad, but I mean, this whole podcast, the dude on the ledge, you know what I'm saying? Not being able to help him out, it's like, yeesh, dude. Like, if I were you, I'd end it too. But see, like, never got a pussy, like, you know what I'm saying? Never like whiffed it.
I don't know, man. I just never been in this situation before, man. I ain't never been around somebody who had this problem before, dog. So
Really? Well, that's
this
why.
is weird.
That's why I
I'm
said in
pretty
the
sure.
beginning, it was like, take yourself and recreate yourself. From like beginning to end. It was like, where did it start? It all started at home with your parents. Parents of sorts, step parent, somebody who was there. And even if you didn't, like, let's say if you didn't have your dad in the picture, was there somebody in the community who was willing to call you out and go, "Hey, young man," you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, I had like uncles, I had homeboys that was on the block.
And you say strong, like, masculine characteristics,
Yeah.
regardless of right or wrong, because on the block is definitely wrong, guys. Eventually, you're gonna get caught.
Yeah, on the block doesn't mean you're doing anything illegal.
Oh, okay. All right, we had to make that clear because
Yeah.
monetization is a thing.
Just chilling. You know what I mean? Like, you're gonna get made fun of. You know what I mean? So you're gonna try to do whatever you can to not get made fun of.
So I mean,
Which is gonna build your confidence. Whether you fail or succeed, all right, well, I messed up with this one, then I'm gonna try a different approach with another female.
right.
Until obviously you're gonna get it right. One day or later, I don't know if it take days, weeks, months, but you're gonna get it right. Ain't not gonna be as miserable as this guy here.
You like shoot your shot every single
Yeah,
time.
you gotta shoot your shot.
What I find real funny about guys like this is that they get used, and it's not funny because he's on a ledge. They get used as like an emotional tampon, and they're like, they see one woman in their sights. I don't know if it's the same with this guy, but I've been around these groups of single men like that, and they like fixate. And whenever that woman doesn't, and they're like, she's got a boyfriend, but, that boyfriend doesn't treat her right or something like that. And, he's just kind of stuck there in the friend zone whenever he could easily walk away and not give her any of his time. But then he goes, and I try to do that. But then, next thing you know, she needs me. And I'm there for her. And I'm like, dude, have you ever tried not?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Have you ever tried, like, just looking at your phone going, like, I got other things to do? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, you gotta flip the roles. You gotta be hard to get sometimes
exactly.
to draw that attention to you.
You got to be hard to communicate with. Can't reach me. Now you're wondering what I'm doing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Not saying that you should do that in any kind of like relationship, that serious long-term relationship, i.e. marriage, like that. You shouldn't play those kind of games. But for whenever you're single and you're talking about women who are like, abusing your time, then you should definitely, just like unplug. Like, don't answer that because you know what it's gonna be. She's not calling you to say, hey, look, this thing wet. You coming over? Like, because obviously she's coming over after Chad had smacked it from behind, and now she's coming over to tell you, man, this guy, I let him hit it again, and he just like left to go to another girl's house. And then you go like, the hair in the face, why do you stay with him? I don't even know, he doesn't even deserve you. It's like, no, they deserve each other because they're both toxic.
But at the same time, you gotta use that to your leverage too, though. Like, ask her what can help you get laid, or what angles can you take. Like,
Just be yourself.
I got it, but I mean, it gotta be more. It's keep drawing you back to me to tell
She
you
ain't
your
telling nothing.
problems.
She ain't telling nothing.
I'm pretty sure she does. He just not catching on to it.
Dude, at
With the
this
hints.
point, women are afraid to tell me their problems because I'd be like, sounds like a whole lot of your fault. Like, you could have ended this situation quickly.
Yeah, but you ain't gonna tell a close friend that, a female
Oh yeah.
friend that.
Well,
But
see,
you won't.
the thing
You
is
won't.
like I don't really have any close female friends. I have acquaintances, and they do come through for advice because I've been told I give really good advice. This is like I said, talking to women, and it's not that I'm giving them advice, but it's more like I'm giving them a perspective of it's not about you. I know what you want because it's what every woman wants, but can you provide the same things? The mirror image of what a man would want for that to happen. Or like whenever I asked Avery Spencer, the one who does OnlyFans, it was like, well, you said you want the next man to be better, but what can you provide to him that you've never provided to any man before? You know what I'm saying? And like it changes their perspective. Like, okay, maybe I should rethink how much money he needs to make. Maybe I need to rethink. Does looks really matter here? As long as I find myself attracted to him. Like he could be a 5'3" man that is really attractive. He dresses nicely and he makes decent money. Maybe $50,000 will support kids that aren't his,
Yeah.
and in the future I'll have more kids for him because he's willing to do this. So that's what I do is give them a perspective that is on the other side because you can ask for anything. And with this guy, you can do the same thing, which is why I said, look at yourself. Do you find yourself attractive? And instead of like pointing it directly at him, you go like, okay, so what do you want in a woman? Oh, I want her to be trim and fit and, well, okay. So,
You gotta kind of match that.
yeah, talk to the girl. Like, what does she want from a guy? And they're out there, they're telling you, they're like, they want, a man who's got muscles, a six-pack abs. It's like, well, do your best to get to exactly that, if that's exactly what they're going for. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm pretty sure if a woman tells you that I like blonde men, you're going to change your hair really quickly. You know what I'm saying? Just to match what she wants. But the hard thing is getting the muscle and getting fit. That's the hard one.
Yeah,
It just takes time.
that's true. I agree with that one. I
I
can't
know it'd
argue
be-
on that one.
It'd be super toxic if you go like a woman wants like a thug, so I'm gonna go buy my chain and you know what I'm saying. I'm gonna like sag my pants and wear them that and like, but you still got to do it right. You know what I'm saying? You can't just because like now everybody knows that you just a poser,
Yeah,
really. But you do have to do it right, and then you do have to have the confidence to back up the look that you're going for. So where we started with this guy was confidence.
that's a fact. He needs a lot of it.
He's in a dimly lit car, looking like Jeffrey Dahmer over there. He's got a big old bell pepper ass nose that he needs to cover up with that hair instead of that forehead. No, I'm joking around. If you're listening to this guy, like this is what men do. You know what I'm saying? We talk about you to a point where you make a change, and it's not necessarily to jump off the ledge kind of change. It's to I guess I would say brighten the mood and to get you to think about what you're doing.
Yeah.
Get out of that dimly lit car.
And better yourself.
Yeah.
First of all.
Go get you a job, man. You know what I'm saying? Go figure out what you're passionate about. And then with all that, it's gonna take you like 3 to 5 years to become a specialist in that industry, and it's gonna take you a whole 10 years to become a manager of that industry. By the time you get to the manager level, you're gonna look a certain way, you're gonna feel a certain way, you're gonna be in charge of people, you're gonna run into so many women before you get to that point. Where as soon as you get to that point, they're gonna be looking at you and raising the eyebrow.
True. And also $40 goes a long way.
$40. This is why they should make prostitution legal. I'm telling you, man. But I mean, imagine if you're a prostitute and like this dude, he turns on his light in his car, and you're like, "Yeah, nah, fam."
I feel you.
Like this might be my last night on the streets.
Hey, you gotta get that 40. You gotta sell that fantasy, dog. You gotta do whatever you gotta do to get that 40.
Thinking, hopefully, I'm nice enough to this guy where he leaves me alive. Like,
He probably just only want conversation.
no, he said it. He said
He says a lot of things, man.
That's true.
It looked like he hasn't had none since it had him.
That's the first honest thing that I think he said was, I'm just trying to get some sugar walls, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's a first, honestly. It's like, well, good for him. Like, I'm glad. You know what I'm saying? You know, let me tell you a story real quick.
Here we
My
go.
dad told
Here we
me,
go.
and this was like, you know, back in the before the don't ask, don't tell. Yeah, we're about to go there. I was so afraid to tell my dad that I had a girlfriend that my dad thought I was gay.
Why were you so scared?
Um, because like I felt he was judgmental to the point. Really, he was judgmental about the women that I was able to attract. Let's be honest, all right. Like now I'm an adult. I'm like my dad didn't want me going after certain women.
I think that's a problem. You gotta live for yourself, no matter what
See, that's true.
nobody
But
else thinks.
I respected my dad's opinion so much, or maybe I feared it. But fear is respect, right? Like let me know if I'm wrong or right about something.
You said it's fear, respect.
It's fear, respect. You should fear me or you should respect me. But respect is earned. But fear, you can instill that in somebody real
But
quick.
fear is earned also too, though.
Yeah, but that's really quick. Like if you know the kids come over. Okay, let's say the dogs, right? Let's not use children. Like if a dog puppy comes over and you look at them and go like sit. None of them sit. You snap one of their necks and then you go sit.
The
All
other
of them
dog is
sit.
not gonna sit.
That was so easy to earn respect.
It's not gonna sit.
Let's pretend in a perfect world. Like all the other dogs might not be afraid, but that's why I didn't want to use the, you know, the children aspect of that because that seems a little bit
No, I
more
don't
messed
think
up
fear is respect though.
than murking puppies. I don't either.
I don't. I don't think fear is respect. But continue though with your father. And
That was to the level of, that was to the level of you know what I thought of my dad, and you know, like you said, now that I'm older, he just didn't like some of the women that I was entertaining. But I was like, you know, it was like, uh, Dad, my girlfriend wants to know if I can go to homecoming or something like that. Like there's like
a
relief.
sign of relief. Yeah.
His body relaxed so hardcore. Like I swear to God, if he was sitting down, he would have just been a puddle in his chair. You know what I mean? And like it was like, okay, now I don't have to have this conversation because I really don't know anything about it. You know, or I don't have to have this conversation, and me and my son we're gonna have things in common. And we go to the strip club together.
Yeah, I can agree. I think this weekend my son had his homecoming. I know him and his mom talk about his little girlfriends, but never, to my knowledge, produces a picture of a girlfriend or a girl that he's talking to. And
Oh my, what's going through your head at this time?
a lot of things. But this weekend we roll up to our parents' house, you know, introduce ourselves and stuff like that, and I was amazed, like the sign of relief. I could understand where your father came from, like, you know what I mean? Like it's a good experience, man. It was like a proud dad moment, man. I talked about it. I still talk about it to this day. Showing pictures at work to my homeboys and stuff like that. People I work with, like this is a proud moment here. You know what I mean? But in the day, like he doesn't need my sign of approval. Whatever makes him happy, man, is the end goal. You know what I'm saying?
That's definitely admirable since you know you've gone through it and you can say well I mean it's not as admirable because you came out on top. You got what you wanted. But like if it went the other way, then I could understand some of the feelings that come behind it. Like I said, it's like you know parents do the whole like where did I go wrong kind of thing there.
I wouldn't say that where I go wrong. Just my personal opinion, like if it was he played for the other team, would I be upset? Yes, I would, but I probably wouldn't. I would try my best not to show it towards him.
Yeah.
It just none of the funny business is gonna be conducted in front of me, though. You know what I mean? Like what you do on your side, but like you know what I mean. We're not doing the funny business, lovey-dovey, kissy stuff in front of me. No, we're not doing that.
Yeah,
We're
there's
not
no
doing
way. I don't think. I mean, I wouldn't feel comfortable with like.
But I'm not gonna judge him. I'm still gonna love him. I mean, it's my son, though. You know what I mean? I'm just not tolerating that behavior.
Well, see, I have a
front of
daughter,
me.
so like the other, they're like, yo, none of that funny business in front of me. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
Boy, come up and smack my daughter's ass in front of me. Yo, I'm gonna have to break
I don't know.
that hand, homie.
I don't know. I'm gonna sound real hypocritical right now because I was a fan of that, man. I got a younger sister, man. That the time that she came out and told me that she played for the same team, I was ecstatic, man. You know what I mean? Like I didn't have to worry about being 16 and pregnant. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have to worry about carrying that burden. You know what I'm saying?
It's like a relief.
Yeah, it's a relief, but these days this is just like a trend or a fad now. You know what I mean? Now she plays for the other team, so
Somebody's heart's gonna
she
get
has
broken.
a boyfriend. You know what I mean? But it's just I think my biggest thing was I didn't have to worry about her being a statistic, being fucking 14.
I mean, that's
16,
kind of how
having a
like
kid, you know what I mean?
it's kind of like how women work. You know what I'm saying? Like they can, like you ask any woman. This day is like it was like you ever kiss a girl and like they'll say like yeah it was like once in college and dudes we just kind of you ever kiss a I don't even think we ask each other like I guess that's something you take to the grave but like if it did come out like that they'd be like yo you ever kiss another yeah it was like one time I was experimenting and you look at them like
Yeah.
sus you know what I'm saying you can't kiss another because like that. Not saying that we wouldn't be homies anymore, but the fact that you're going to get roasted a couple of times before, the end of the year.
Yeah.
Roasted enough to where you might want to fight somebody.
No more waterfalls, no more catching a short on the cigarette. None of that's dead. You know what I mean? That ain't happening. I'm judging you.
And I think if, let me bring this all the way back around to this kid. I think that if he had some of that energy growing up, you know what I'm saying? He wouldn't be so mad at the fact that somebody's telling him now.
Yeah.
Now that he's kind of, he's more of an adult and he's stuck in his ways. And, mom's been telling him he was handsome for like the past 20 years. You know what I'm saying? Like if I came through and, was the, like let's say it was like I clowned him on something that was just like really small and like, we wouldn't throw hands over. We'd laugh, He might take it in a certain way where he thinks that I think he's more inferior than me. I was like, dude, that's just the culture. You get roasted for stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
And at the end of the day, like she might not been the one for him, man. He's got to keep searching, and you might find the right one, man, and you can give it your all.
I think that's terrible advice.
No, that's excellent advice, man.
Like, cause like you get nothing from that. Like if I told you that
love is like a rose petal, dog.
Is it?
It's like a rose petal. Man. You only give petals out to the people that you love, man.
Notice how your wife
sex,
even looked at you like, yo, he's capping right now.
I ain't
like,
capping, man.
Hardcore
Hey, look,
cap.
man. Hey. As hard as I may want to be and seem, I lost my virginity to her when I was 16 years old, man. You know what I'm saying? She's my first and my last. You know what I'm saying?
My boy later on kind of.
The love is real. You know what I mean?
You're saying that because she can't say nothing right now. this is live broadcast.
Just trying to get some sugar walls. That's all, dog.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like and I would like because I know like in the comment section somebody would say and this is exactly how I would feel. It would be like you said nothing that got that man any closer to somebody like be yourself. Don't take no for an answer. That's how crimes happen.
Not necessarily, man.
Yes, it is.
You just gotta use
no means no.
Chlorophyll.
No means no.
Percocet.
You're gonna get me demonetized.
No,
I didn't know what to
joking,
say.
But yeah, we hit the wickets though, man. Like he needs some homies to get him right, to get that confidence up, man. Get out that insecurity, man.
Yeah, like I said, the first place you should go. I mean, imagine you meet this kid at the gym, right?
I would not talk to him. I'm just keeping it a band.
You know what? If he asked me a question, I would. I think I would make him comfortable enough to ask me another question.
No,
I think that's how like welcoming I can be.
I have my AirPods in, like I didn't hear him at all. Just beeline to the next.
You know, whenever
machine
he goes
I'm
to
going
shoot
to
up the place, you first, right?
Hey, that's cool, man.
That's the dude that
you
didn't
gotta
teach me. That's the dude who didn't teach me how to use a squat rack. He's gotta come looking for you.
Go to the gym, man. I don't be trying to have no sidebar conversations, man. No, I'm just in and out, get my workout, my pump, and I'm out of there.
But see, I think right now you're capping too.
No cap.
Like there was a time whenever you didn't know me and you weren't willing to understand who I was. You know what I'm saying? And like I know we have our seasons where like we're all outside. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then like we got our seasons where nobody's outside.
Well, alcohol plays a big factor in a lot of things.
It
man.
does. It definitely
plays
does.
a big factor in a lot of things.
What I got from that is he should go out and drink alcohol and be social. I think that is better advice, or it's at least more straightforward advice. You know what I'm saying? Because like if you know alcohol can bring people together, you know what I'm saying?
Social drinking.
Social drinking.
Social drinking.
There you go. Don't get blitzed and then walk out the house. Like that's never a good thing.
Especially when you offering the. Of course, I'm not gonna turn it down. But
Yeah, yeah. I would definitely. Hopefully, there's some in this still because I'm a little thirsty. Um. If he did go to social gatherings, I'm pretty sure everybody's gonna leave the party, because they don't know why he's there. But if he did change up his demeanor some and he looks young,
I
there's a
wonder
lot of
what he's wearing.
he's wearing. It looks like a an Under Armour shirt. That's what it looks like. He said he just came back from the gym, so should probably hide that a little bit better behind like a sweater.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Until he gets his body the way he wants. I'm pretty sure he probably looks like a lurch just walking around. You know what I'm saying? Like my boy's a lurch. And I mean, his whole facial, there's nothing he's going to do about his facial structure. Clean up the hair a little bit. He's got to wait for the facial hair to grow
Like
in.
a bald spot is at the top.
Like right in the front. Like
Yeah.
he's got the comb over
like
going
do
on.
a man bun or something to trying to protect it. It'd be all right, man.
Get some of that Rogaine. I don't know. I can't say anything. I'm bald, so it'd be really. I don't think it'd be tough to help this guy. I would think it'd be better to tell him, "Hey, look, man, focus on yourself. You know what I'm saying? Focus on getting your money right."
I said that at first, and you.
No, I didn't say that.
I know. I said that at
No.
first. Like work on yourself.
I didn't turn that
blah,
down.
Blah, blah. You turned it down. You
No,
said that was horrible advice.
I turned it down because it was just kind of like you said, be yourself in there with
yeah,
there.
you gotta be yourself.
Nah, he should be somebody other than that because there,
no.
he should pick a different personality.
No, then you're not being true to yourself, so you're not working on yourself.
Well, I mean, if he was able to gather a group of men in the gym that were able to steer him in the right direction and not hands on, but kind of like, hey, look, man, if you do these squats right, you see your muscle popping out a little bit more. If you pull your biceps back, and then eventually it's gonna turn into, hey, come do this show because you look the part, and then he's gonna get.
I don't think that's gonna work.
It could.
No.
Dude, it worked for me.
No.
Like having some growing up, I've always had like a group of men that were doing something. So wrestling team, football, band, the swim team. Like I've always had a group of men that were able to, and then we'd look at especially for the swim team, since the girls were kind of nerdy and they weren't really into themselves yet. It was really easy to talk to them, especially while I'm wearing a Speedo and they're wearing a bathing suit, and it's like, oh, your penis is small. It's like, well, says the one who ain't got no titties. We can all see that.
So went back to what I said, like get some lowest self-esteem pussy.
Well, it was easier for me too because I was like,
Low self-esteem.
no,
Yourself.
I wasn't low self-esteem.
No confidence.
I had great confidence back then. I had confidence of like, if I do something crazy, maybe she'll like me. Like that's kind of more of me growing up. And then trying to fit in with all the cool kids on a budget. So, or like wearing my dad's size 11s, and like to this day I wear a size 9. You know what I'm saying? So imagine back then, and the freshman year of high school, I'm probably a size 7 wearing my dad's size 11s. Trying to be cool. So like I did have the time whenever I looked at those kids and I was trying to like match them and stuff like that. But like I said, I had no issues being myself because like my genuine self was I got a girlfriend. I got laid by, I can't say because she might watch the video, and they're pretty close to us. So not family, this wasn't family, this wasn't blood related. I got a look from a certain peanut gallery. And like this girl liked me since freshman year, you know what I'm saying? And I finally got with her senior year. So that was different. And then back in the 5th grade, there was this girl, her name was Susan. I'll give her first name. She really liked me. But I didn't want anything to do with her because of what everybody else thought of her. I thought she was really smart. But it's just one of those. Oh, she's picking her nose, and I was just like, yeah, I don't like that because. And then I go.
They didn't like it.
You know what I'm saying? So I did have some girls who did like me at my genuine self.
We should have acted on it.
I didn't know how.
Not worry about what others say or think.
That's true. You
which is easy to say now that we're older versus
absolutely
when we were young.
We're gonna be more stuck in our ways now.
But you would have got sugar walls, and while your other friends didn't get sugar walls.
I was in 5th grade. I don't think anybody was getting sugar walls except for this kid named
I was
Stefan.
hunching in the lunch line.
You're a hunching?
Yeah.
What does that even mean?
You have to Google that.
Is it demonetizable?
Yes.
I don't know, man. You told this kid to jump, so I think we're already over the edge.
Hunching. I'm really showing my age here. But yeah, hunching. That was a cool thing to do in elementary school.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look this up. Hey, producer. Let's do this live. So you don't have to put it up on screen. Just look up what hunching is. Look up the Urban Dictionary definition, because as you can see, who we got sitting here in the seat, because it's probably not in a regular dictionary. Oh no! There goes our visual representation. Right click.
Where on there?
No, right click on the internet browser button down there at the bottom. Down there at the bottom. All the way at the bottom. You know how that little thing pops up?
Yeah.
Go to Chrome, right click, boom. Swear to God. look up hunching. You can do it over there. It's not up on the screen. You know I'm leaving this in, right? She put a T in there.
Yeah.
Isn't that right? Whatever.
Hunching, hunch. You gotta type in Urban Dictionary. Scroll down and see if there's an Urban Dictionary definition.
You know when you're in line, like boot camp, not the butt.
Oh, why did you just say that? Huddled up?
She shoved or pushed, nudge. She hunched me and winked.
Shove or put. Oh, that seems a little bit more like. Seems more pre-K than that. Like, I thought it was something like.
That was pre-K.
Kind of like perverted or something like that. Like.
It kind of was perverted.
It was more like flirting, but like physical. You know how like people would be like, oh, he like walked by me and shoulder checked me, and then look back and smile or something like that. Okay, yeah, all right. So hunching, that's new to me. Like we used to hunch back in. You remember like the old school days?
Everybody
like
hunch.
What you got to do is you got to blow in her ear or something like that. Like that weird shit.
Every real guy hunch.
Is that what you like? You blew in a girl's ear?
No, not.
That was before your time.
That's a movie. Some movies. Nobody blowing in no ears.
Yeah, as soon as you blew in my ear, I knew he wanted to go steady. You know what I'm saying? Like that. It's kind of like
once you hunch, like that was the signal right there. Like,
oh, it's real.
Yeah, it's real.
Okay, I can see that. But like he didn't have a father figure to like, hey, look, here's how you know a woman likes you.
Well, it wasn't even father figure.
I'm pretty sure you learned it somewhere.
Yeah, the homies.
The homies?
Yeah.
Oh, that was another point I brought up.
Yeah, the homies. Like,
Boy,
I mean, even nerds got some whatever nerdy things they do when they're little gaggle.
That was me.
Yeah.
I was definitely a nerd. All right, everybody. I appreciate you for watching today. Make sure you go down to the comment section. The first comment pinned to the top is gonna have everything plugged for Mario here, and make sure you give this video a like, comment, meet this man on his socials, say hi, do something. If you have nothing for me, I have nothing for you, and I'll see you in the next one.